Call the meeting to order at 6:30. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda that may be amended?
So moved.
Second.
You have any? You got you, Patrick?
Nope.
Bill? John?
Yeah, I'd like to add between select board members' comments and adjournment, so it would become 17, adjournment would be 18. Executive session for personnel contracts, the appointment, employment, or evaluation of public officer or employee under VSA 313A3.
Personnel.
Can I get a motion to accept that?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval of the minutes. There was a lot of paperwork here today. Which minutes are we doing, Patrick? The April 28th? It's the only one I have.
Need
is
the
April
minutes in my packet.
I didn't see anything.
That's why I got some from last week too, so
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing it in the agenda.
I don't see it in my.
I mean, I see it in the agenda,
Yeah, there is.
but I don't see any.
Yeah.
Okay. So moving right along. Appointment of interim select board member. I'd like to get a motion to go into executive session. How many people do you have first? You can say who they are at this point, so they're
Yeah.
going to go inside. So who are the two?
Jay Hickory and Roger Rivera.
Okay, can I get a motion to go into executive session?
So moved.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Out of executive session at 6:50 PM. No action taken in executive session. We had two folks, Roger Rivera and Jay Hickory, that put their name in. Can I get a motion for Jay Hickory?
I move to put Jay Hickory's name in for the interim select board position.
And I'll make a second. And then all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Nay. Can I get a motion for Roger Rivera?
I nominate Roger Rivera.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor of Roger Rivera, say yay.
Yay.
Yay. All that not in favor, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, so Roger Rivera is here. Okay, can you swear in right now with Peggy? She's ready for.
Do you want to put your name in here? Do I have the right spelling? Here, can you please, Roger, please use this pen.
Roger's got a special pen.
Please use this pen.
It is a,
It's a legally binding pen.
It's a historic pen.
Binding one.
Oh,
likes the way it writes. I mean, she's the clerk, she's the one that swears them in. She gets to use invisible.
No. I take it the budget report that we got in the package is defunct.
Which one?
The one that was in the package.
No,
That's good. That's the
Comparative.
That's the comparative.
Comparative.
yeah.
This is this month.
That's not the budget report, that's the comparative
I,
report.
Roger Rivera,
The current budget.
do solemnly swear that I will be true and faithful to the state of Vermont, and that I will not directly or indirectly
Directly or indirectly,
do any act or thing injurious
or thing injurious
to the Constitution or government thereof.
to the Constitution or government thereof.
God.
So help me.
I think I have it over there.
God. No, I don't believe in God. How many cats? We're all here, that's all.
When you die, you will.
This has stuff.
I need a magnifying.
I know.
Sound like my brother.
Yeah.
Hopefully my other brother does.
Yeah, the font doesn't help.
Now it's the oath of office. I, Roger Rivera,
I, Roger Rivera,
do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the office of Select Board
the office of Selectboard
for the state of Vermont,
for the state of Vermont,
and will therein
and will therein
do equal right and justice
do equal right and justice
to all persons
to all persons
to the best of my judgment and ability,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
according to law.
According to law.
So help me God.
So help me.
18th day of May.
No, that's the old man in the mountain.
Right, Connie?
Makes me think of
Happy pet.
One's recording.
Magical pet.
Yeah, she records on one and then views on the other.
He likes to up the attention.
Okay, thank you.
Here we go.
Nan, here's something
We're
to-
not there yet.
Does the mouse.
Enjoy.
Welcome.
Well.
Thank you.
Have some candy.
No, thank you.
Already selected to the vote.
So, next up is citizens' comments and concerns. I'll look to the audience. George has his hand up first.
George Brand. I'd like to go over some things that will go on the meetings. One is, I don't know why everyone's going after the select board so hard when they're saying the budget got voted down. The reason the budget got voted down is the numbers weren't right. That's not the select board making the numbers on this, that's the management, okay? If your numbers aren't right, and the numbers aren't gonna be right on this next budget, I'm gonna advise everyone I know to vote against the budget. If your numbers are right, and then they have an honest thing to look at, that's fine. But I'm gonna go through all the employees leaving. The select board doesn't hire and fire employees, okay? Unless you name Jim Half. That's the only one I've ever seen where they cut his thing in half. That's management. So if you have a complaint, it's not against the select board, it's against the management. You guys don't hire and fire people. When I show there's $900,000 worth of mistakes in 8 months, it's not the select board making these mistakes. They don't work in the office. It's management. The management should have teams, have a meeting in the beginning of the week, because the left hand doesn't know what the right hand's doing. If they went together with it, had a meeting on Monday, I worked at the Wally Barn, we had a meeting every night to make sure what we're doing for the whole day. If you had a meeting on Monday, you do this, you do that, you do that, have a meeting to meet back on Friday, and go over what you did, so you know your numbers are right. If one person's saying the number's this, and one's saying it's that, then maybe you can figure out what's going on with the whole situation. I heard on speeches that people need 15 years' experience to work in a municipality. My brother's are CPAs. It's not 15 years. Doctors don't need 15 years. Lawyers don't need 15 years. But a municipality needs 15 years to do it. It would have been very nice if the new people came in, when the older people were leaving, to teach them how to do it. If you had meetings, you could do that. I'm just giving suggestions here. I don't like people attacking the select board or the management or anything else, but the numbers have to be right. And as far as the fire chief leaving, the main reason he left is because he didn't have the credentials to do the job he was doing. That's what they asked. Where's your certification for these things? And then he quit. He quit 2 weeks before that, and then started again. If you don't hire qualified people that have experience, you're gonna run into this problem. It's easy as that. And the management hires the people. The select board doesn't hire the people. Someone's like reaming the select board, but it's not the select board. It's the team that's in there. They have to get their act together, and that's my opinion.
Thank you,
Thank
George.
you.
And, this board has not said anything about quitting or whatever. That's been rumors going around in town, so, for the fire chief or whatever. Rob, you had your hand up. sir.
Yeah, hi, Rob Kowalski. Back in September of last year, Ron Smith was in from the accounting firm that does all the governmental type of audits. I think they're based in Maine, and it was my understanding that based upon that, we were going to see some type of a report. Now, I know in late February, he provided another draft, is what I heard. But how long do we, as a community, have to wait? It's already been over 90 days since February. When will we see a report?
I have a report if you want to come into the office. If we have copies of a finalized report, if you want to come to the office, we do want him to come and speak and present it publicly, but we've been waiting until after the budget has been established.
Will you release it to the public in advance so that they can analyze it and be prepared for a meeting and
Yeah,
presentation?
It's a public document, yeah.
That's why I'm asking.
Is it posted?
But yeah.
And
I'll double check to make sure it's, but.
wasn't the original going in was something like 25 or 27 Okay, for the budget, do we know what we paid?
It was budgeted for 27. We had a enhanced audit, and it came, currently it's at 35,000.
Okay, so if you come into the office, you can sit and read it, can you get a copy of it or not?
Can we please put it on the town website
Yeah.
underneath government?
All right,
If
great,
if it's
better
not
yet.
up already, I'll make sure
I
it's
don't
up there.
know.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
know if it
double
is
check
or
on that.
not.
Thank you.
Can you go, while we're on this subject, can you go into the town website for a second? Just- You might as well share it too, so.
Oh,
I was gonna bring this up on the selectmen's concerns, but since we're already on
Lost my-
talking whatever. Then go into government. And then go into whatever, audits and everything, whatever. Go down further. Town reports and audits, okay. And then click on 24, 25. First one,
okay.
okay.
Link's
And then
broken.
go back. So you can tell the difference, I call them like two paper clips over to the
Yeah,
left.
this
It's
one's a
not in the
link, this one's a PDF.
Okay, then since we're here, can we scroll down to audits, maybe? Click on that and see if it's on there. So there's the FS 25 final. Right? Right? That's what we're looking for?
No,
That's the federal compliance audit?
we already got that, hard copy.
Yeah, you have a copy of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, we don't have the 26 yet, because 26 not over yet.
right.
That's what.
That's
what-
what
Ron-
that's what Smith was putting out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the federal compliance audit. That's, I'm just trying to show you where you can find it, that's all. Walk through it. But the one I noticed.
Okay,
the other
appreciate
day,
it.
The link was
yeah,
broken.
the link is broken.
But he's going to come and actually do a,
Is that a
We'd
draft
like,
or
we'd
the
like to have
depth
them come in
engine?
person.
It says
Okay.
federal compliance
Yeah,
audit,
it should
so
be
it's
the final audit.
It's the final
Oh,
audit.
it is, it's not
We-
just, it's not.
We have questions or whatever on that, but such as where's the $147,000?
I thought this was just a compliance audit.
You know? Well, this is just a compliance audit, but we don't have the regular.
it's the normal yearly compliance.
That's, right, that's what we do.
Is this the enhanced?
No, so go back, click back one. This is a federal compliance audit.
Yeah.
No, scroll back down, so, yeah.
Oh, man.
Double click quick.
Okay, now go back down to, what's in audits, go to audits. Go to 24. Go back.
Same thing.
Go back, that's the other one, that's 25. Let's go back to 22. And let's not do cream there. Is it? So there's an audited financial statements and other financial. This was this past year, we were told that they were just, for one time, they were gonna be doing a compliance audit. So it's not the regular audited financial statements. We wanna know if there's a difference. That's all.
Okay.
Okay, that's all. Ron?
But my question then is, if we have it as of the end of October, or I thought I heard Patrick say we actually have the whole thing now, when will that be published on the website?
That is the
It is
website.
the website.
But why does it say it's for 25? As of June-
Because 26 ends June 30th, 26.
Okay.
So we do the
Okay,
audit.
so when he did the audit in September, when he was here, that was already into 25.
So that says as of June 30th of 2025,
Okay.
okay? There's no way that any auditor can do something that ends June 30th of 2026 because we're only in May. All right?
All right, we're close. Fair enough.
Yeah, well, let's wait. Klaus, you had your hand up?
Yep.
Say your name so people know.
Klaus Barther. Wanted to see about getting on the agenda, select board to discuss opening the town roads for registered and insured ATVs and UTVs.
We just put something on
Yep.
it.
On the next board meeting?
Why don't we do it?
Be like June 8th.
You around June 8th or June, how about the one after that we've got?
Let me find the date.
Yes on that first one and sure on the next one.
ATVs riding on the streets?
June
22nd.
Gonna
22nd.
get killed.
You around June 22nd?
Oh, it's a tough day. No, it's not going to be a good one. Kyle's birthday, we got plans.
Oh, okay, I was like, I picked any date. So why don't we do July?
July, the first one in
July,
July.
oh, how about the 8th again?
Yeah, the 8th.
I'm not really sure what we have going. I mean, we've got a lot of stuff in the next couple of, we'll put them down tentatively for the 8th, okay? And we'll get back to them after tonight's meeting, if it will be on the 8th or not. All right, so
And it's ATVs on road?
he's saying licensed and
Yeah.
registered ATVs on
Town
town
roads.
public roads? Okay, I don't know if we can do state roads. I don't know anything about them.
No. Typically, you can only cross them.
Only cross them. So
Like
you'll-
other
you'll-
towns in
Snowmobile.
other towns in Plymouth, Bridgewater, Pittsfield, Stockbridge,
save that
they have
for
some
you.
restrictions, but
Yeah. So maybe you can bring some kind of what Bridgewater's rules are,
Plymouth.
or Plymouth. Okay, bring Plymouth in. Ken, you had your hand up.
Yeah, point of clarification regarding town
Can you say
management.
your name, please?
Ken Wanzer, resident, in clarification, point of clarification in regard to town management. Okay, the town manager is hired, okay, and fired, okay, and pushed out, okay, by the select board as they see fit. Okay, so, okay, directions come, okay, from the select board to the town manager. Okay, it doesn't go the other way around.
Thank you,
So when
Ken.
people have questions, okay, regarding, okay, the select board, okay, versus the town manager, okay, they need to think twice and know exactly what it is that they're talking about.
Thank you, and I think you should too also, but we'll move on. Anybody else in the audience? Go ahead.
Discuss it anytime you want, Jim.
Go ahead.
Jane Ramos, I'm here as your library director, and also as someone in my work with the community that gets to hear a lot of what's going on and how people feel about a lot of things. And what I'm hearing that's coming through the library as well as the church is that people are trying to carry more than is sustainable. I don't have any bad feelings towards the management or to the select board. I'm just telling you what I hear. Killington is rife with rumors.
Always has.
We are a small town. We have Killington locals, and people go off on each other all the time for very little, sometimes nothing. The residents that come in and talk to me express real uncertainty and concern about whether they're going to be able to stay in Killington with homes that they've been in for 20, 30 years. They don't know if it's sustainable. I lived here for 5 or 6 years. We could not afford it. So I'm not a town resident, but I am your town librarian and the pastor at Killington's Little White Church. People want stability in their community, in their cost of living, and in the services they relied on for years and years and years. One person asked me to mention in particular that she had heard that the 1990s were used as a reference for how staffing used to be. Most people don't understand that the 1990s were almost 40 years ago. 40 years, almost. And what the town was dealing with then is nothing like what the town is dealing with now. The big projects, the TIF district, the golf course, the fire department, all of the things that are going on right now almost need a team of people just to do the paperwork to get those big services and projects done. So what we've done, according to some, is pile on all that paperwork to the town office employees. The library is starting to hurt. And I am speaking because I will not allow that to happen on my watch. The town office currently provides support that the library can't replicate on our own. We need help processing paperwork, coordinating on shared projects. Relationship that allows us to function as a full-service library for this community. And if staffing changes are going to be made, and I understand difficult decisions can be difficult, how can we be sure that our services, and we are a service organization, how can we be sure those services don't suffer? Last point. People are not line items in a budget. Fear and frustration rarely produce wisdom. Difficult seasons call us to do something harder and better. And I've been in this community for 12 years. I've seen 7 town managers in 12 years. I hear other people from other communities calling and asking, how is it? How do you even stay? How do you work in the library in Killington? And this is coming from other library directors. It's coming from people in state and out of state. You have a nationally recognized library for the programming that we do. And that programming is going to suffer and is already suffering if we lose town employees at the town office. If I lose somebody that helps us with our paperwork, I'm going to have to redo the library staff and find somebody that can help me because we are already losing out. None of us caused every problem that we have, and we have a lot of them. And none of us can solve those problems by ourselves. The question is not simply what we can cut or who bears the responsibility. The question is what kind of community do we want to be when times get this difficult? And the people that are coming in my building every day, 25,000 or more people a year we serve, come in tears. Because one, they're afraid to talk at a select board meeting. They're afraid they're going to get retribution, that somebody will say something awful about what they said, that their opinion doesn't matter. And when we have that kind of feeling in the community, it affects everything and everybody. There is a sign that I have seen at protests. I'm not a big protester. I'm more of a, I'll tell you what I'm for instead of what I'm against. But I've seen signs that say when the librarians show up, you know things are bad. Because we try and be Switzerland. And we're always walking the line. And I have to do the same thing with the church. I'm not here to preach, but I'm telling you, this community is angry, it is terrified, and it is both at the same time. And people are suffering, and so is your library. So, thank you.
Thank you, Jane. Anybody else?
Nice job, Jane.
Anybody online? Not hearing any. Next item, Board of Liquor Control.
Do you want me to do these? Because they're new.
Yeah, so the one is just outside consumption, which we don't.
It's a limited outside, so I had
Oh,
to put it
limited.
before you. It's
Okay.
got to do with the Cirque series, that mountain running series.
So I've got here, application 77442 for Yama Corp, first class.
So, yeah, in April, you approved Yama Ramen LLC. So they have turned it into a different
We
corporation.
switched, yeah, entities, so we're Yama Corp now.
Okay.
So I had to reapply for a liquor license.
Okay, so Yama Corp is for a first class, and then Killington Restaurants, Inc., outside consumption limited permit
Correct, yep,
for the, what series here?
yep.
Cirque series. Can I get a motion to allow the town clerk to move forward with these two?
So moved.
Can I get a second? Any questioning? Other than renewal app, it says false on both of them.
Correct, because they're not renewals.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Peggy.
You're welcome.
Okay, appoint select board member to selection committee for construction inspection services, Phase 2 Killington Road. Can you just fill us in on this,
It's a
Patrick?
long title. So, part of the bid process for construction overview of Phase 2 road project, or of the Phase 2 Killington Road project, as well as now going to be part of Phase 1, the select board, it was identified that a select board member was going to be on the committee to review bids, or not bids, proposals. So we have two proposals that technical proposals that need to be reviewed. There's, I'm a reviewer, Lisa's going to be a reviewer, some of our consultants are reviewers, but we also need representation from the select board. We have the two proposals came in this week, and we'd be reading them this week, next week, and just need to score it and have the review back. And so, asking the select board to pick someone to represent the select board in reading the proposals.
What is the outcome of the proposals?
It is the, to get the, who is going to, sorry, the USDA requires us to hire a construction consulting firm. So it's a third-party firm that's going to review the process. It's required by USDA. And so this is part of that.
So we're reviewing the reviewer?
We're reviewing the reviewer.
So the board has to make the final decision as a whole for the selection of anything, since we're going to be expending X amount of money.
This is just to be scoring in a rubric. This does bid out. If you want to do that, it will.
Well, it's not, I mean, I'm being told from,
Yeah.
no, if it's more than, so this is awarding a contract to a person for more than 20 grand.
Sure.
Or is it preliminary review before a contract is then voted on to be awarded?
It would be reviewing bid packet to scoring. It would be one of the scores in a larger pool of scoring documents for those two proposals.
So Lisa, you have your hand raised, and I believe that's Lisa Davis Lewis.
It is.
Yeah, hi, I just want to be clear. Yeah, you're right, Jim. It does have to come back to the select board. So I think the plan would be to try to get it back June 8th, if not June 8th, the second meeting, because we need to have, this is for a construction inspection firm. I think everyone knows that when we did 1B, we actually used the design firm as a construction inspection firm, and I think
We'll leave it alone at that.
yeah, so I think it's, you know, the decision is to use an independent firm, and also for Phase 2, the USDOT actually requires that you use an independent firm, and it can't be the design firm, and it can't be our MPM, Municipal Project Manager, which is Ken. So, and there's only a handful of firms that are qualified under VTrans, and obviously 2 of them are knocked out, HB and B&K, so that's why we're really left with 2 firms. And so, yeah, we want to get the selection committee going. I don't think it's going to take much to review the 2 proposals, and we can make a recommendation to the select board, and we get somebody on board, which is a requirement, in order for us to get the USDA funding. So, sorry, Patrick, I didn't mean to.
No problem. You are
Just
the
want
pro on
to
it.
be a little clearer, so, okay.
So Lisa, does the USDA say that a select board member has to be on this selection committee?
No, it doesn't. We just put it in the RFP. I wrote it because I think I wrote, you know, I was hoping we'd have a public works director on board, but since we didn't have a public works director, I thought maybe, and, you know,
Well, where I'm coming from, Lisa, is...
Little left, and so it really only left Patrick and myself.
Lisa,
Seemed to make sense.
Excuse me, Lisa, do we need a select board member on this committee? And if not, who is on the committee at this time?
So the committee is myself and Patrick, Ken, and Ken Roby, so it's the 3 of us on the committee.
And Ken Roby is working for,
The town of Killington.
through,
He's municipal project manager.
Through what company, Lisa? He doesn't work for the town of Killington.
Dubois and King, D&K.
Okay, so there's 3 people there that I believe are able to go through 2 and score them.
Probably
and-
better than any of us.
And then come to the board with their recommendation and their write-up of their score for us to see.
Okay, that's fine. I think I just wrote the RFP.
you wanna be on
that
it?
included
No,
the
thank you.
select board member,
I have
but
enough.
that's
I
fine.
just stepped up.
I don't think it makes a big difference.
It's not a requirement,
It was put in the RFP.
but it's not,
Right,
a
it was put in the RFP.
but it's not a requirement.
No.
I'm willing to have Patrick, Lisa, and Ken Roby, who works for Dwight and King, okay, to go through and score 2 different people, okay? Somebody is not muted. I think that's you, Lisa, at this point. You might have some people talking in the background.
Yeah, she's
Yes,
the
I
only
do.
Okay. So if any of you folks want to say you would interested in this, let me hear now. Not hearing anything?
Okay.
Patrick, town manager, Lisa, planner, and Ken Roby from Dubois and King, or Dubois, whatever. Okay? And then, that's where I was getting at. It's gotta come to us anyway, and we're gonna have to see how you scored it. So, all right, and we can go from there, so. Moving on, RRPC.
This is Rutland Regional Planning Commission, the Regional Emergency Management Committee. By law, we have to put 2 people in, and last year it was Whit Montgomery, our police chief, and Craig Bowman, who's the fire chief at the time. Craig Bowman, and we do not have a fire chief at the time, or currently.
Well, we don't have Craig Bowman either.
Well, yeah, he's not here. So replacing him, I was putting up Mark Foote as a firefighter because that seat has to be occupied by someone in the emergency services field. And so we're looking for sign off by the select board chair specifically to.
Can I get a motion for the board to allow the select board chair to sign the Rutland Regional Planning Commission Regional Emergency Management Committee representations or representatives?
So moved.
Second.
Any question? All in favor?
Aye.
This is where I was coming from in previous meetings. There's a whole bunch of different appointments that we
Yeah.
need to make. I don't want to be coming here like every single week and having one here, one there. Is that a special pen?
This one's not a special pen.
Okay.
Just found out about that.
Yeah, we have,
No, that's the clerk, so I didn't know it had to be, and I get why. That's what she wants, so we can go through and be recorded correctly. Pump station water main erosion control.
this is the Casella.
Yeah, I have it. Thank you.
I also have a couple colored copies if you need to see
Yeah, so-
that part. It was black and white.
So I'm gonna first make a motion to accept the pump station water main erosion control. I guess this is a bid, a quote.
Yeah,
Can I get a motion?
or it would be a contract edition.
Can I get a motion?
Second that.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to, I'm sorry.
So moved.
And then you get the second?
Yeah.
Okay. So my question here is how much is this total? Is a $400,000 on one, is a $200,000 on another
300.
line item?
Well, I have some questions.
So I'm gonna
Yeah.
first, can I get mine?
This is the total, 443,000.
That is the total?
That is the total.
Has this have anything to do with this other contract for $650,000 addition?
No,
So this is another addition.
correct.
So then normally we would hear from,
Oh, you have Brian here that can talk about it, our water operator.
okay.
Do you want to hear from him?
You said,
Yeah, go ahead, stand up, Brian. Do you have a copy? Yep.
Just so I can get this straight, this is an overrun cost?
No, this has not happened yet.
Okay.
This would be, yeah, this would be additional new work.
That has to be done.
Well, that's what we're gonna talk.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. Brian Heaton, water operator. So, per the original contract specifications, there was, I believe the exact wording was to restore per the contract documents, which would be grade the material that we have existing for where they laid the steep slope water main going up the mountain, which pumps it up to the storage tank. That includes, was it seed, erosion matting, everything. Our engineers at Casella, who are doing the actual work, have advised us with the area and the irregularity of the water main that we're pushing up there that additional armoring and stone swaling is advised to maintain the health of the steep slope water main.
Where is Naomi and Dufresne's group on this? Because you just said the engineers of Casella, but we have been working with Dufresne's for this whole water, and they're the ones that come in with the add-ons? Where is, that's what I was expecting to see, somebody from Dufresne's group to come in here and talk to us.
So originally, the price, the recommendation came in at, what, 800, north of 800,000. And then Brian, Naomi, Tim,
Yep, Tim and I
or Tim and you specifically.
walked the site, with Jeff Chase from Casella's and determined that some sort of restoration, improvement is necessary. So Tim did go ahead and agree that this number is suitable for the work that needs to be done.
The original amount that was coming was about double this. And then working with our engineers.
When you say the original, it's not in the original contract.
No, the amount that is originally proposed for
The additional
the
work.
additional work was proposed to be about 800.
So this is the first time that I've seen in 3 years of any ask for, what would this be called again in their document when they're asking for more money? They're looking.
Cost, not an overrun, but.
Say change order?
it's a-
Change
or a
order. So this is a change order.
Yeah.
Okay, so where is the this is a documentation from Casella, who's asking for $443,548.53. Where is the change order that's signed off, or whatever, for us to move forward from the actual engineer working for the town, Dufresne's group?
We're seeing if the select board wants to go this direction. Or if
No,
they.
the select board, the select board has hired on a company by the name of Dufresne's, and they handle any change orders and bring them forward to the board with their recommendation. This is a recommendation from the actual contractor doing the work, so.
This has gone through Dufresne.
Well, let me restate
Yeah.
what Jim is trying to say, okay?
Yeah,
If I'm hearing this correctly, the original engineering work said we could use material that was on-site and we didn't need to pay for this. The original.
The original.
That
did not take into account the steep
That did not,
slope.
okay, so the original said this was a cost that did not need to occur, okay? We have since got to the standpoint where Casella, who's physically doing the excavation work, has come back and said, something's not right here, we have to do some protection, okay, for the water main. And so that stimulated this occurring. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, so, and Casella then went to Dufresne?
Casella came back, involved Dufresne, yes, went to Dufresne and said,
Well, did Casella come back and go to Dufresne, or did Casella come back and go to us, and we went to Dufresne? Who's reporting to whom?
they're all in the same thread. So Casella reported back to the town, which is represented by Dufresne's, that.
No, Dufresne's is not,
Well,
Casella
they're our
is not
engineer on it.
befriended by Dufresne's.
They're our engineer on it.
Right, Dufresne is our engineer, so Dufresne is by de facto for this contract the town.
Can I get a
Yes.
motion to move this forward to allow Dufresne's group to come in with a change order?
Yeah.
And
That's
give
what I
us their recommendation on yes or no, and then also fit it into, like they did on the 650,000, saying
Yeah.
it's still, I don't know, is it still over? Is it still under the original bid that we put out for, that we were expecting? That's the information I would like to see. So I want something from
That's all we're
Dufresne's.
looking for, is to move forward with this.
And I'd like to
But we're
understand.
not moving forward
Well,
with this.
no,
Yeah.
to get to the change
Yeah.
order, to get all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because this is a net new thing we wanted to come to you
Well,
guys.
if the engineer agrees that it needs to be done, then we need to consider it.
Right.
Okay, but what I think Jim is trying to say is, this is not the engineer, this is the person who's actually doing the excavation
Well,
work.
it's an engineer, but it's
Well, I
not
know,
our
but it's
engineer.
not the
the
engineer.
engineer for the company
It's
that
not
wants
the
to
engineer
build
we
it.
hired to give us
Right,
the advice and
exactly.
manage the contract.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And I just feel the way that the meeting is set up, it's asking us to approve this. So pump station water main erosion control, and then we get this here,
Right,
and it's
this
almost
is a
like
discussion
you're
to do that.
asking us to approve $443,548.58.
Well, I have a question. on
We're
these-
opening the discussion.
On these rates and calculations, I mean,
But we're
top
not,
half is at
Nah,
one
I
rate,
mean,
the bottom
yeah.
half is at a different rate. I find that a little disconcerting.
yes, so, I mean, anytime we pay a bill to Casella, Dufresne's group writes off on it, the state person signs off on it, and then it comes into the town for the town to talk to Dufresne's and bring it to the board. Not just throw it on here and say, Casella's engineer says we need to spend $443,000. That's all.
John, do you have a question?
Well, a statement. I'd like to better understand how an engineering firm comes to a location, site, does all the site work, all the engineering they need to do to go up the side of a mountain and completely grossly underestimate what needs to be done.
There was an issue with this is frustrating. There is an issue with the scale at which the original drawings were done. They were too far out, and it did not add, yes, yep.
So someone has insurance for their
it
engineering
didn't-
license, I assume.
We're
did
not
not-
gonna get into
Well, I'm
that.
just saying, like,
It did not accurately capture the steep slope that this was gonna traverse. So it generalized it over a distance, instead showed the extreme nature in one spot.
Can I actually,
Or, go
can
ahead.
I just want to make sure that doesn't go on the record. That was the
Yeah.
the steep slope portion,
That's-
which was
sorry,
done a
that's
while
also-
ago. With this right here, the original, per the contract documents, was to return the area to how it was, with the material that they have. The engineers determined, maybe it was dependent on them working a season there and seeing how the
Okay.
elements were, that more work needs to be done in order to protect it.
So Brian, there's two things being thrown out here, and we're only talking about the pump station. We're not talking about leaving the pump station, the steep slope going up to East Mountain Road. That was the $650,000
Right.
add-on. That was done through Dufresne's. This now is saying like right behind the pump station,
Yes.
the water that's coming from there, and then running down through and getting onto Route 4, like that whole area there?
Nope.
It's just the water behind the building coming in.
Yep, the water behind the building going up, not down.
Right, okay. So this is just the pump station, it has nothing to do with the other section. So we have a motion on the floor to move this back not to Casella, to Dufresne's group.
Yeah.
To put together a change order, and then have them approve the change order and make a presentation to us, along with the state, because any of these change orders, I think the state's gonna have to approve also, because there is a state person that sits in on your meetings, and usually when there's a change, he has, I forget his, Don
Haddix.
would come in and say, I approve this. So do we have the approval from Don?
Nope, because it's not a change order.
So it's not in the original bid. So then what is it?
Well, this here is a cost summary, I think, to,
It's a
It's
change
new work.
order from the original contract.
Nope.
So then, okay,
This is
so,
new work.
well, new work is a change, okay?
Yeah,
So
I'm
if this is
confused.
not a change order, then let them do the work, it's in the original
Yeah.
contract, and show me where the $443,000 is in the original contract.
Yeah, and I'm confused the way it was presented, because originally
Yeah.
you were saying that it was being discussed, okay, that they were gonna be able to take any of the material that they used in the excavation of putting this pipe in and then reuse it, okay, and get the area back to the way it was, so to speak, okay, for erosion control. And then in the process of analyzing that, after they got the holes dug, they said, no, we need to do more work. So they basically said, the original contract, don't need to do anything, oh, we need to change that.
No, it's not a change order.
It sounds like it is.
Okay, I agree with you.
Yeah.
We need a presentation.
Can we get a?
We need a,
Well, we need Don Haddock signing off.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah, there's steps going to be made.
Yeah.
there's many steps before it hits the board's
Right.
table.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Can we find out why the rates are so different from the top and bottom portions of this document?
Yes.
We got a rate of 121 for the exact same stuff at the bottom at 218.
Yep.
I find that disturbing.
So the stone swell, 12 to 17-ton tracked excavator with special.
It's the same piece of equipment.
I know, it's the same piece of equipment. Okay, $121 an hour. And then on the stone slope protection, it's at $218 an hour. And then the 30 to 35-ton tracked excavator at $121 an hour doing the stone swell is at $218 an hour doing the stone
Same.
slope protection. Yeah. And also the same thing with the foreman and the laborer. I mean,
Yeah, they're
so.
all in one
they're
price.
all- Yeah, they're all, so it looks like there's, I don't know, same things and everything. So, and this is what the Frains Group is going to do, and they're gonna go through it, and
I
this
mean, there
is-
may be a valid reason, maybe they need to insure these people or something, or have
And then there's this
protective gear.
production crew time
you know.
category that I'm not sure that I understand it in comparison.
Yeah.
I think we've got questions.
I think Jim's right. If Dufresne is managing the
Dufresne's-
contract for the town, there's a change order process that they need to follow, and then just bring it back to the select board after they've done their work.
Okay.
Overall on this project, are we close to the budget? Are we exceeding the budget?
This wasn't in the budget.
Right, I understand this was not, but
I believe we're
For whatever
still
what-
under what was originally projected, but this meeting for Wednesday is still on, right?
For the TIF one, Stephanie? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a meeting, 4 o'clock, that's supposed to run through all of the numbers and tell us where we're at.
Oh, great. Okay, that'll be
So that's
helpful.
Wednesday at 4, okay?
I'll be there.
This Wednesday, Jim?
Wednesday at 4, this Wednesday. Okay, so ARPA discussion,
ARPA. Okay, so
this is ARPA what?
this is COVID ARPA.
Can you tell me what ARPA stands for, please?
American Rescue,
Oh, okay, it's,
It's an acronym, obviously.
yep.
American Rescue.
American Rescue Plan Act.
Thank you.
Yep. So this was during COVID, there's different ARPAs. This one is specifically for COVID. Or actually, sorry, this is the COVID ARPA. That the town at the time was awarded a total of $226,041.36. At that time,
Can you say that number?
226,436 and what?
that's what you got. You got that 226,041.36.
226,041.36.
Thank you.
The next number you're going to want, Roger, is 147.
So that one I've been hearing a lot.
Okay.
Yeah. So over a two-year period, so, well, in 2023 and 2024, we got these funds. We used them to offset different items related to cleaning, personnel. We offset the options tax, which is important because we had shortfall because of COVID. These monies, talking to VLCT, and Katie over there, who is the person that was originally speaking with Michael Ramsey, I walked through this with her. So at the end, or when this COVID started clearing up, there was a question of what do you do with the rest of these funds? And you can, the VLTC figured out a way to take those funds, have the towns move them into their general funds, and then they basically supplant other money that was in the budgets, and you can use them to offset your budget. excuse me. We as a town did that. So first we made a motion, the select board at the time made a motion to put the 59,000 and change, which was related to the options tax, into the general funds to account for that. And so the money was moved out of where it's kept in the ARPA account. Account is the wrong word. The spot within the town that's labeled as ARPA was moved out into the options tax because that's what it was offsetting. Then in 2024, when everything was kind of winding down and we received the direction from the LTC on how to do this, the select board made a motion to obligate and thus spending the 147,8275. Yeah. To the town's general fund for municipal workforce retention. Again, in doing so, we moved the money from the feds to us and show them, and then in that we have a closeout to say, hey, we've obligated and spent because it is now in our general fund. Once it's in our general fund, it's still kept track of by its own account or a number. It didn't just go directly into our unallocated funds or into a category that was wages, salaries, which it should have. So the money was obligated, it was spent because it was brought into the town and commingled with the rest of our money, and then stopped.
And
so it wasn't
what year was
signed.
this?
This last part, 2024.
So I'm gonna
during
stop here for a second. You made a statement that said that there was a motion to obligate and to spend. The motion was to obligate to the town's general fund for municipal workforce. We were told, Town Manager Ramsey stated that since March 11, 2021, the town has received $226,041.36 in ARPA funds. Some of these funds must be used towards specific projects, while other funds are not as restricted. The town must obligate the unrestricted funds before the upcoming deadline, which was December 31st of 2024. The easiest way, this is Ramsey, the easiest way to do so is to obligate the funds to the town's general fund for municipal workforce retention, not to salaries and wages. That's what you said. It said to workforce retention. Town Manager Ramsey requested that the Select Board make a motion to obligate $147,820.75 to the town's general fund for municipal workforce retention. Okay? Select Board half made a motion to obligate the $147,820.75 to the town's general fund for municipal workforce retention. It was unanimously approved. Now, we were here some 3 or 4 weeks ago, and all I asked was fund number 114 in our reserve restricted funds called ARPA for $147,000, okay? I said, I don't think the money is still there. And Kirsten said she believed that also. So all I asked for was show us the $226,041.36, and you showed it came in 2 different payments, okay? So that's this here. So well, maybe it was more than 2 payments. No, it says 2 payments.
113 and 112.
Okay. Well, I don't know. There's a 3,900, there's a 73, there's a 3,900.
That came in over the 2 years, those are 2-year totals. But yes.
Okay, so 2-year totals. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, there was 5 payments, I guess, or whatever, over 2 years. Then I asked for a spreadsheet showing how we spent it to get down to either there's 0 or there's $147,820.75 left. So there's a $1,600 charge, there's a $7,820 charge, there's a $59,674.61, and then there's a $9,126 charge for $78,220.61, leaving that $147. When we were told back on whatever date in 2024 that we needed to obligate it, obligating does not mean spending right away, it means obligating it too. So once again, I'm asking for where was the $147,000 that were obligated spent?
That's where I'm getting to.
Okay?
All right, so that amount, when that type of motion was made by the select board before for the 1% option tax, it was moved out to the other account. When this obligation was made, the money never moved. But in the eyes of the federal government, it is now obligated, spent, it's closed out. That's the difference between like our accounting of it. The money has been commingled with our money, but we still know how much we originally got, but the monies have been supplanted. What I believe happened, and this is where I kind of start going on assumption, is in 2024, they would have been working on FY 2026 budget. In FY 2026, there is a negative expense, which would be a reimbursement, a negative expense for $147,000. This was an item that, when I was on the select board, we couldn't figure out, Bill, we couldn't figure out.
Yeah.
The assumption is that between Michael Ramsey leaving and Tom Yadel coming, that was the intended purpose to use the money in the FY '26 budget, which is what we are currently in. But that is an assumption. The money is still accounted for in the ARPA fund, not the, well, when I say ARPA fund, it's not ex year, it's internally, in our internal ARPA fund. And so we can either use that money with that 147 to offset that deficit item in the budget, or the board can choose to use it elsewhere. That is from VLTC.
Well, so going back to, because none of you folks were here in 2024, we were told to obligate it, and then and if you look up underneath the whole ARPA COVID funds, you were just obligating it somewhere before December 31st, and you need to spend it by December 31st of 2026.
Yeah.
Okay?
And
So-
again,
so-
in the eyes of the federal government, once it hit our
Well,
account, it is.
I'm looking in the eyes of the town of Killington.
Yeah, and that's
okay?
where you have discretion now.
And you said in your little speech here that the money was moved over and it was being tracked of where it was being spent. So all I'm asking for is, where was it spent?
I think the intended purpose.
No, I'm asking for, you said it was being tracked. I'm asking for, we're not the trackers. Where was it spent?
We have a surplus of 147.
That's not it. The one item.
It got spent by going into our general fund. It supplanted other money that was in the general fund.
Okay, so what you're saying, in the eyes of the federal government, as soon as the money got commingled, it got
It was
spent.
spent, yes.
Okay, but in the eyes of Killington bookkeeping,
We
we
have
had not
discretion.
been recording expenses against that account. So that
Correct.
account is just sitting there.
Yep.
Okay, waiting for us to record an
Where to
expense
s-
against it.
Yes. So it's, the federal government, it's closed out, it is fine.
Yeah.
But this board has discretion on where to apply that money.
But in theory, to meet federal requirements, and this is what I think Jim said, we have to physically spend that money, not just accrue it, but physically spend that money by December 31st, 2026. Is that correct, Jim? I think that's what you said, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
And-
so the money's waiting for us to spend it, and we just have to
If we zero.
book an account
Right.
against it.
Exactly, we can,
Yeah.
we zero out that count, it's done and it's recorded.
So, when I looked at the audit, year-end audit, there's two entries for that 147. One says it's committed to employee retention.
Yep.
And the other side of it is essentially a liability which says deferred income. Okay, so that's the two accounts I saw that money being in. Now, deferred income as a, liability, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but,
Negative expense.
well, it's
No,
not
it's-
really an expense.
No,
It's not
no,
an
no.
expense.
It's a negative
Because when
income.
I go to the 2025 book, and I go to page 24, there's unexpended project funds
Yeah.
of $147,000. So your assumption is that just because it's $147,800, whatever it is, okay, and 36 cents, is that it matches pretty close to that, okay?
Right, and that's why it's assumption.
So that the unexpected project funds, what I recall was we bought a piece of property for $700,000 for affordable housing. There was a fee for closing on that, 5 or 6% for that. There was lawyer fees. There was a study done on the, there was a study that was done, feasibility from Enman Kessering Engineering. There was some other work done on it too. So I think that the funds might have been going towards this, but if we're tracking the numbers, what I asked for 3 weeks ago was just give a track of, and you had said that the money got put, Patrick, let me finish. You said the money got transferred over to the general funds. So what you're saying here on this list that you just gave or whatever, that's not tracking wherever, you're saying it went into the general fund. The general fund is one big bank account with all this stuff. And then you're supposed to have where the money went to. So we're not
That
working
assumes
on
it's been
assumption.
recorded.
Yeah.
That assumes it's been recorded.
but it-
And I know, Jim, from looking at the budget, when I first came on the board, there was single entry accounting that was done on a lot of
Single entry
accounts.
accounting?
Yeah, basically, people were making, just general ledger entries, okay, without double entries.
So like we have things missing from
And
one
so
book.
there's missing book.
We have
Things were
one,
missing.
we have things missing from one book to the other where there
Right.
was a fund 215.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So 215. So money's going in and then it's sitting there and then just spending out of the general fund, but not going to take
Yeah,
from
a check
that.
is being written from the
Correct.
checkbook, but it's not being recorded against that
Against the
account.
correct thing.
Right,
Yep.
yeah, and that's what was happening.
So
When I
what
say
I'm
single
getting
entry
at
account.
is, you know what, I'm not, what I'm about to say, I'll save for executive session later underneath contracts or whatever, because this is sort of, this is a contract with ARPA for funds or whatever, okay? So I'm just gonna, what are you asking us to
Well,
do
no,
here?
I'm saying what we've been able to devise, the experts from VLCT says this is discretionary money to be used by the select board.
And the money still exists.
Well, that's fine and
Well,
dandy,
what-
but
what-
where did we spend it?
No, hold on a second.
Where
Jim,
did we spend it?
hold
We
on,
haven't
hold on.
spent it yet.
Jim basically
To hit the
said,
general fund.
Jim basically said from 2024 and maybe 2025, that he thought the money was supposed to be allocated to the employee housing, housing land purchase, okay, to do surveys
No,
associated with that.
I'm saying that there was some fee over the 700,000.
Right, yeah.
Okay, there's an amount over, it's not $147,000.
yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, but the thing is, okay, one of the things to do would be to look in the books and see, look at that, try to identify that fee and see where that was recorded against to determine if it's been recorded against the right thing, or if it's been recorded against anything.
Well, the problem I have is, our books were audited by a certified public accountant, and there's two balances in opposing accounts on an audited report, which doesn't say where that money.
Which should tie.
Well, I'm sure it ties, because it's two different entries on two different sides of the ledger.
Right. But that's where the assumption, so it's basically, it's up to you guys how to use this.
I'm afraid if we say use it, it's not there.
Yeah, right, yeah, that
Not
would,
there.
yeah, is it
Because
there?
not
that's
there.
as of 2025, the end of 2025.
I have very
2
low.
weeks ago,
very low
you wanted to
confidence.
spend the money on
2 positions.
on 2 positions or whatever to
Yeah.
keep going.
I would still
And
like
then-
that.
But then you came back and said, no, the money's not there. You told John and I, the money is not there. Now, all of a sudden, the money's there again.
That is what you said.
That's what
I
you
did
said.
not recall telling you that the money is
Money's
not there.
not there.
The money, right, because it may have been,
Already spent.
no, it may have been that 147, and that's for you guys to decide.
I mean, really,
Because-
because, well, no, just stepping back, my basic
It is.
problem
We-
is.
we
like,
don't know
One
what this-
meeting we ask and there's no money. The next meeting, there is money, then there's no money, and then there's money again. It's like, how can we not know that we do or don't have $147,000?
Books have not been the best, and so right now, we have a negative
So
expense
we're a
fund
month-
that is
we're- wait, Patrick,
147,
please. So
and
we're
that
100
147
Patrick, please.
does match.
Patrick, please. So we are over a month into this, because I remember this conversation, I think even in advance of when I was in the board, and we still haven't been able to define the funds the trajectory, the spending, where it is, where it isn't. And yet, last week, we wanted to fund 2 career positions with it?
Yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure that that's what you were talking
The
about.
money is in that account, though my assumption is it was intended to be used to cover that 147.
So that would have
But
been a
we do
bad
not
mistake.
know.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying, it may not be there, but that is up to the board to decide of if they want to use it where it possibly could have been intended, or because we've had a lot of vacancies this year.
This has nothing to do with vacancies.
No,
So-
but
so-
our overall budget is,
Yeah, so
we'll
what I-
likely not hit our budget. 'cause,
So
like,
I
we'll be-
thought one of the things we were gonna
In
be
a good
doing
way,
is we're
in a
gonna
good
get
way.
away from this assumption stuff and throwing numbers out there and get going. I get it, okay? Where I'm coming from is that we brought in, I was told, and it's in a meeting video, whatever, VLCT came in and audited our books. Mark Dakota came in and audited our books. Smith came in and did a whatever. And we still, now it's up to us to say, hey, Bill, I think this belongs here, but I'm not really sure. So let's just spend it there, and then let's get reamed in 2 years from now.
Well, we don't have annotations, and none of the people here.
The only thing I can say.
So I'm
is-
going to end this conversation. I think this is a perfect thing for a forensic audit
Right.
to
yes,
take a
yes,
look
yeah,
into.
yeah. But-
Let's stop it.
but in-
I'm not going to make the suggestion.
But-
Quiet in the audience,
But
please.
in defense to what's happening, okay, it's unexcusable. It is
Yeah.
unexcusable. But I can tell you, back 8 months ago, when I put my report together,
Yeah,
looking at the housing funds,
yeah.
you couldn't find the number. And the only way, I sat with Mona for a whole day trying to find the numbers for that, and the only way we could find one number, $350,000, was by searching for $350,000, and it was a dangling entry. So the fact that there are entries that are
Is that a
like,
technical term?
no, I mean, it was all there by itself. It was literally, it wasn't attached to anything.
Anyway.
It wasn't
so
attached to
Can I get a motion to leave?
And you
the-
don't find these things unless you.
Bill, instead of going on and on and on, can I get a motion to keep the ARPA funds where they are as 114 and keep the negative 147 that says unexpended project funds? It doesn't say unexpended.
ARPA funds,
ARPA
right.
funds.
Yeah.
It says a project fund. And we'll wait for our auditor to come
find
in.
it.
Not our auditor, because our auditor
Has
has
missed it.
had, our auditor has had 24, 25, 26 to come up with. And I guess we don't have it, okay? Like, I don't know, like, how long has this 147 been sitting here? So
That's a 2025 year end?
this is.
The Tom Yarrow Easter egg in the
2025.
budget.
You know, so I just say, I think, once again, we've got a forensic audit, and let them find out. That would be a
Yep.
specific,
Yep.
Be a good one.
this one here, this one here.
It'd be a good one.
Wow. Maybe we'll find 147 of the 200 that it's costing us. Scheduling of votes.
Scheduling of votes. So, let me find my correct document.
Do we have it in our packet?
No.
Why not?
Because this, you had the other version.
Is it in the warning special town meeting?
What's that?
Is it online? Is it in an email to us?
No, this is state law, we just have to decide on. So,
No, where is our copy?
you don't have one.
Is there one online? An email to you from, did you get an email from someone telling you what we can do or not? What are you pulling up?
What I'm pulling up is what we had, you guys had this last time. This
Okay,
is
well,
from our
so we
attorney.
a- So we asked.
But this is different now. So, the things
don't
that.
have it.
It's exactly the same, but different.
Can I explain it to you guys?
If I had it, I would be able to read it in advance, be
I know.
prepared for the discussion so we could be productive.
Here is the state law, if you would like it. That is what we're going off of, state law.
Is that an email from a lawyer or just you looking it up?
Which part? This is from our
This-
attorney.
Okay, so do you have a
This
copy?
is state law.
Is this
Can I-
state law?
can you let
from
me
the-
just go
No,
through
no,
it?
can you let me finish as the chair? Is this an email or this something you just pulled up?
This is something I
Can you
pulled up.
pull it up to share it with everyone? You're getting frustrated, and I just want to get it
No, 'cause
so
I'd like
we
to-
see it.
Yeah, and I'd like to explain to you guys
Well,
what's
we
going
like
on.
to read it instead of having something that we don't see explained to us. We just went through money's there, money's not, money's there, money's not, money's there, money's not. So we'd like to have it come up and see on a screen and share it with everyone. And if the sheet that we had last week said June 13th, if we would have voted it then I would have just got the attorney just to sent another email so we can share it with everybody. Or just give us a copy of what your scribbling is.
Budgets. Under budgets. If
Are
bud-
you sharing it so people online can see?
No. Okay. This is Vermont State Law, 2680, Australian Ballot System, Section C, Budgets. We go to 2. The budget is voted on by Australian ballot and rejected. The legislative body shall prepare. Oh, that's in the way.
A revised budget, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Oh, well, right down there, that's fine. Legislative body shall revise the budget and shall take appropriate steps to warn public information meetings on the budget and the vote. The date of the public information meeting shall be at least 5 days following the public notice. The date of the vote shall be at least 7 days following the public notice. So, we have 3, definitely 2, possibly 3 items, general items to vote on. We have the budget and the associated articles about the bus and the solar panel, the solar panel bond. And then we would have potentially a golf bond. That would be over 10, or it would be over 5 years, so it would be separate requirements. We also have a select board position that needs to be voted on the next election. If we were to do all that in the same election, it pushes us out past when we would need to notify people of taxes. Not ideal. Our attorney's recommendation is to break those out into 2 elections. First election dealing with the budget and associated articles, the bus, the solar panels. And then at the August 11th meeting, election, handle the select board position as well as a golf bond if we go that direction. So for basically the dates that we need to start playing around with are for the budget revote, and if we want to include absentee ballots, by statute, you need at least 20 days.
So this board is already in discussion, said
yes.
there is no way that this board,
gonna
after
do it.
everything, is gonna cut out a
Right.
group of people since 2000 and what to get to mail in.
Exactly. So my recommendation then is to set the budget vote, as long as we have it, and that's, again, this will be part of the budget discussion, is to set it for June 16th with the advisory meeting the week prior, which is June 9th, I
So
believe.
you wanna have the vote on June 16th, and we're expecting to have everybody come in, and next week is already Memorial Day, and have a vote within 16 days.
Well, that would give us about 26 days to do the absentee ballots, get them back, and hold the election. If you want, you can push it out further.
We got
The end of
Vision
June.
that said they sent out mail that said, they sent it out and people didn't get it until like 2 weeks later.
So then, if you want, you can bump that, as long as we have the,
What is the absolute latest, what are the other rules of sending tax bills out.
So tax bills need to be sent out 30 days prior to the due date. And so we need to send tax bills out by July 15th. We would need to have time before that to prep them, get them out, stamp them, do all that kind of, stuff.
But we could have a vote in this vote saying that taxes are due, say, August 15th instead of August 1st.
They are due, I think they are due August 15th.
August 15th?
Yeah.
So we could say that they're due August 25th and late September, whatever.
As long as that vote passes.
Right.
If it doesn't pass, you get into a weird situation where you then have to hold another election.
Yeah.
Or,
Operate.
yeah, or operate with it.
Well, the budget, I think what I read is something to the effect that you operate on your existing budget at a percentage level is what I
80,
recall.
85, somewhere in there, yes. So the lawyer's recommendation was, as soon as your budget is ready, set a date, try and get it before, before you have to have additional votes, basically, or additional elections.
Are we putting the cart in front of the horse here?
I think you should have the budget discussion before having the date-setting discussion.
Okay, so they kind of gave
Yeah.
us a little bit of a. so
But
now
those are the things that we're playing with is,
This is just an information thing.
yeah.
So right now, we're saying if we come out of here today and say, put this budget forward, okay, and then there's an articles in here somewhere in our package. And right now, the articles are,
Well, I have some blank ones that we can fill in,
okay,
in case of that.
okay.
'Cause
The articles
that
haven't
is-
changed except
that
the
is
dates,
one,
right?
yeah.
Well, I think
No,
the
we
amounts
don't
have
know
changed too.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. I have blank ones to fill in.
Yeah, okay, so let's,
Last week, the golf
thank you
course
for the
went up to
update on, so,
263.
so we have to have 30 days prior, the vote 30 days prior to actually, so if we have a vote on.
We have to have the tax bill sent out 30 days prior to.
So how does
tax
this
day.
work? You have a vote on June 16th,
Yep.
and anyone can, they have 30 days to ask for a revote,
Can't do it on the budget.
okay? So you can't do it on the budget?
No,
Okay.
it either passes or fails.
I don't know, because there was a petition went around and asked us to
Yeah.
do a revote.
Well, that's why I thought.
A bunch of you signed it, but anyway, nobody here,
I think Patrick's.
so, oh, I meant board members. So, June 16th, we would have the vote. We approve it tonight, then that gives the clerk, this is you, Peggy.
Yeah, I'm looking at all these dates, yep.
Okay, so how does this work for you? That if we approve a budget tonight, and then tomorrow you come in and you have to print and mail anyone that comes in, like, do you have any amount of days that you have to let people come in and?
The election in March, we had 91 absentee ballots. So between the three of us, we're hoping to get it done in a couple of days, if nobody bothers us.
You're a clerk.
It's at office hours.
Yeah. So it's got to be 30 days of the clerk's office getting the ballot out, or we're just approving the articles, if we approve the articles tonight? When does the 30 days start?
So it's 20 days before
20 days for absentee ballots, 30 days for the tax bills.
tax bills.
Okay. So,
So we're giving more than statutorily allowed because, again, post office. But if you would like, you can
well,
plan for more.
we're going to send
And they
to
have to then come back.
somebody,
Yeah.
and then
Well, they have to request them first, though.
they have to
too.
request them.
Well, we can operate.
And it
off
could
the
take
91.
10 days for them to get it. And so now maybe 13 days have gone, and then they get it, and they have to have it back, and it may be, we may never get it back in time.
Well, you can set it out further if you'd like.
Well, I guess the question on, the date, I think we need to focus on first, okay, is the date that taxes get collected. Because is there where are our expenses if that date pushes out into the future, and what is our liability associated with that? And so we can get some clarity on that.
We could borrow money for the first month.
Yeah, but that will cost us money to borrow money.
Right.
Okay, which is, we'd rather not do that. Okay, so I would rather we hold our feet to the fire. That would be the responsible thing to do for the town, okay, to get this done. Okay, so that we avoid future expenses to the town. But is it a big expense or a little expense? If it's $10, then, but if it's $100,000, it's a totally different issue. So,
Depend on how much we'd borrow.
Yeah.
We'd likely borrow,
It would be for a month of operating expenses roughly, right?
yeah,
Which is how much?
I'd have to look for you, because it depends month by month.
well, it's.
Winter's more than summer.
It's a-
I don't know if it'll.
Yeah, it's a $6 million budget, so it's like a $500,000.
Yeah,
Thank
I would
you.
say we'd probably
Yeah.
borrow like 1 million, 1.5, depending on project needs, because we also float projects in between SRF, and SRF is shut down for about a month. So there's a potential that we would carry more liability, but hopefully by that time, we would have offloaded that liability.
So
But
we
but it'd
had,
be around a million or million.
Okay.
we had in front of us from Community Bank something to borrow $290,000 for
that-
the storm.
that's gonna be the next one.
That was
Yeah,
a
okay.
$50,000.
But then we had 514,000 for a capital improvement. Which capital improvement?
Look back on that one. Kirsten, are you on? I'd have to look back on which one.
We're in the finance, we don't have our finance director on?
She is on.
Where is she? You want to text her, tell her we're asking for her?
I think maybe in these discussions, it would be prudent to have her present, to be honest with you.
But then there's also a grant application note line of credit for 1.5 million, which these three things were pulled last week. So,
Right, the bank pulled them because they want.
well, I'm just saying, there was
different
2
things.
million and, there's like $2.3 million worth of notes that we were supposed to sign last week, but they got pulled. And we'll get through that, but I'm asking, what was the 514 and why was that pulled? And what's the 1.5 for the grant application note line of credit? I would think that is the Gantt,
That's what I'm trying to figure out if it's the
the
GAN.
Gantt.
Yeah.
And this would be for the projects that
And
are
I think
going
the
on
five is,
for.
the 5 is the.
I mean, it's
the
really
interest.
easy to see, like, on this 290,000, it specifically
That one's the
states
FEMA.
what it's for,
Yep.
okay? But then the other two are kind of like capital improvement note, and doesn't really tell us what the capital improvement is. And the other one is for $1.5 million, but it doesn't really tell us what it's, it says, oh, to finance the town's ongoing water project. Okay, so that one's got that there. But this other
And I
one,
believe 500 is the.
to refinance the
interest
outstanding
related
balance
to
on the
133A.
existing community bank bond.
Yeah, it's the refinance of the water 1 through 3A interest.
There's $514,000 on the
Yeah.
interest.
Yep.
Okay, so then,
It's just been rolled over and rolled over since, what, 2022?
okay, so this is why we really need to have this meeting on the 20th, and is the interest, I don't think you can borrow for the interest and then have the TIF cover it. It was supposed to be taken out of the,
Right, that's why we're doing that.
well, you were doing it now, but I think if we would have signed this off, then we would not be able to recover it from the TIF, I believe, but we'll find that out on Wednesday at 4 o'clock. So is Kirsten around yet?
I did not get a response.
Okay, so anyway, we kind of figured out, we're gonna move on. We kind of got it from here. All right, so let's just jump into the treasurer's report.
Do you want to do the,
Monica here,
did you want to do the, there's an item I think you skipped over.
ARPA, scheduling of votes, treasurer's report, and
Oh, sorry,
comparative
never mind.
report.
I thought the
Is it-
FEMA had one.
Yeah. No, that's, there is, we asked, but it's not on. can you share online with everyone the treasurer's report? No, for my personal thing. So Monica, this is for the end of April.
Yes, it is.
I just want to get it up online. I'm gonna gain weight. Everything I swam today is gonna go. right back
brings
to
those?
Chelsea. You don't mind kicked in.
Oh, thank you, guys.
I got the Kit Kats. He's got the.
I apologize, I am here. I walked away from the computer for a minute.
It's okay. We're finished.
Okay.
Monica's in the queue. She's waiting. Or right next to the printer, I think, is at our lawn. There you go. Yeah, I think that's. Yeah. Might have to scroll, so.
This thing's slow.
There you go. Okay, Monica, you want to just give us a rundown?
Sure. So like you can see, we have about 10,635. We're gonna pay to the state in a week, actually. It's 8.5 million, so we're gonna be left with 2 million only. The next tax collection gonna be in August, so
We hope.
we hope. So that's where we are.
And then, Roger, you can see on here, it'll say underneath April, this receipts and disbursements.
Mm-hmm.
So April's probably, is April a big month, Monica?
Well, we had that big loan for the Mascoma Bank, so that was part of it. It was 186. I can't remember how much it was.
480?
No, that's the one you're looking is the golf course, but
So we don't see where the money was expended.
Oh.
So it's. The big one for 180, can you just tell us what it was for?
that was for the building we bought. The building we are now in the post office building.
Okay.
That was the 1,600,000. The loan was for 10 years, so
Okay.
the April is the payment.
Okay, so it leaves us with about $2 million, is $3.7 million in restricted funds, and $576,583.97 is owed to the restricted funds. When you start looking at the restricted funds, you'll see the yellow markings where there's negatives or whatever.
That's what
The
we are.
yellows is negatives. If you add that all up, Monica now puts that as a total there, so thank you. Okay.
Do you want the restricted funds up?
What?
Do you want the restricted funds up on the screen?
No, we're just going through this right now, so that's that, so,
So even though we have 10 million,
we don't have, we have
We
10.
don't.
No, we don't.
We're
No, no.
holding it for the state.
right now we have 10, okay, subtract 8, that leaves 2.
Yeah,
But the restricted funds are supposed to be 3.7
Correct.
minus 576 that we know about. So that says we're $1 million short.
Yep.
it's not.
Where's the million?
We have made loans, we've used ourselves as a bank over the last couple of years instead of using a bank as a bank.
So where's that documented?
So that's,
It's in the, it's.
it's all documented. We had a vote that said we would use, but then there was supposed to be a loan that was supposed to come out in a GAN or a BAN or whatever to start covering this stuff. but we're too busy of coming in and making complaints about
That's not
history.
accurate.
Listen, when people could say something out there,
Jim,
please,
there's a
listen,
$1 million
stop,
there's a $1
stop,
million
stop,
bond we have.
stop, okay? So where's so if there's $1 million
There's
bond.
11 million.
$11 million bond.
Only certain costs qualify under that.
Okay.
And only about a couple $100,000 of the costs qualify. That's why we're doing these other bonds.
This is why we need to
We're trying
have-
to refresh our cash flow.
Yeah.
Because that's our big issue.
Yeah, we've been trying to go for bans and GANs for over a year and a half now, bond anticipation notes and grant anticipation notes. And we've been too busy going back and forth on all this other stuff instead of actually getting these things. And then we have loans here, since I believe maybe the 1.5 million that we were supposed to sign off on last week, but now all of a sudden we couldn't for some reason.
The bank
Would've
pulled it
came
back.
in or whatever, okay? So,
The bank is getting concerned
Okay.
with the town.
okay.
With all
So,
the press and the media and all that. So they
yeah,
look twice at it.
exactly. Five-member board really brought us on. So now let's go to the pro shop.
are.
Let's go to the pro shop. I didn't ask for a five-member board, sorry, you four.
The only thing we're on the treasurer's report, and so the only thing I'm wondering is, why is that $1 million not identified on the treasurer's report if the town has in fact made a loan to itself of $1 million?
Well, it should be, so then let's go to the restricted funds.
And I don't mean to be
No,
pedantic.
you're not, you're not.
I'm just trying to.
That question, you're
yeah,
not.
Yeah,
And Bill, all your questions aren't, okay?
yeah. No, I'm just, yeah.
We're asking.
And it seems to show it when you look at the beginning balance and ending balance, there's $1 million hole there too. Maybe it's the same $1 million, okay? But I mean, I don't know.
So, this is the treasurer's report, and this is not just this has been going on for a while. When we're borrowing funds from the reserve restricted funds that the voters approved, where is the backup showing it? That's what Bill's asking.
That's what I'm asking.
Harrison, do you want to answer that?
Probably left.
I don't want to make any assumptions.
Okay, so then we'll stop there. She doesn't want, I don't want to listen to assumptions.
No, she's not going to.
Sure, go ahead, Lucretia.
So, I was doing some research, going back to Old Town reports, and it appears that many years ago, when Dave Lewis was around, there was borrowing made from the restricted funds, and there were posts. In other words, it was documented as an actual loan. I have not seen that since. In all the years that I worked for the town, we were actually, when I first started, we were going in the negative on the restricted funds a couple of times. We got that fixed. And we weren't going into the negative until the last couple of years. I made Michael aware when we first went into the negative on things. As far as borrowing, Bill, when we went to a fiscal year, the first year that we were in the fiscal year, we still had to borrow. But after that, we were not borrowing anymore until we got into the TIF, which is understandable. That's what we were told that was going to happen. We were going to.
No, that's what we voted on.
That's what, fine, whatever you want to say.
That's what we
but
voted on.
That's fine.
You weren't told.
That was what was presented to the voters for them to vote on.
And they voted yes.
And they voted yes, that is correct.
Okay.
But there should be, looking back at how it was done, probably there should be documentation, but there's been so much change. This is what I'm telling you, there has been no stability. So there is no, when you switch town managers, whatever that town manager was doing tends to fall between the cracks.
So it would be extremely important that we have a highly qualified town manager, correct?
Not necessarily.
Hey, Ken.
Somebody.
Not necessarily. I understood
understood
your answer, not necessarily. Thank you.
Bill,
But please don't jump out.
Where the money is,
So-
the money is in the TIF account, and the
No,
TIF
no.
is separate from the
So
restricted.
listen, where I'm gonna get at is,
It's
Bill.
okay that people explain that the money is in the TIF, That's, okay, and we've heard that on and on.
They were doing
But
like voting.
please document it so that.
Well, this is not the
townspeople
town
can see-
manager's report.
No, I
This
know,
is the
but
treasurer's
But the
report.
treasurer's supposedly managing the money of the town,
Well-
okay, and it should be documented in the treasurer's report.
So listen,
so
this
that
is
the
another
people can
perfect
follow it.
reason why I voted no, but a lot of people voted yes for the forensic audit for $200,000. So they'll put this together.
Yeah.
And tell us where the money was, boom, 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 okay? So, Monica, let's just move on to the, I'm sorry, Monica.
It's okay.
Let's move on to the pro shop and the golf course. I'll take it because it's just, so the pro shop, currently, there's a balance of April 30th, there was $323,000, Monica. They started seeing money in now coming.
They
I
do,
guess, in May
yes.
Or whatever, and
Yep.
we'll get that next month.
That's right.
Right. Out of there, it states that there's $8,258.90 owed to the restricted fund. So the golf course has on the back.
And that was changed already to actually in April. We moved 25,000 to that account too, so.
Was
so
it 25 or 50?
It's 25
Okay,
for now, and they gonna keep adding money there.
okay. So we moved $25,000 out of the pro shop. Well, it still stayed in the pro shop.
That's right.
It's just moved the line item into the
That's right.
restricted funds. So how much in the budget, because I thought it was supposed to be 1% or 1.5% of their revenue going into going into their restricted funds for the golf course. There's supposed to be a dollar amount that goes into their restricted or their capital or whatever.
Like, I don't think there is. Justin said that he will look to that.
Now, we were always given from them in reports that they would be putting over 1%, and I think Mark Dakota wanted it to go up to 1.5% for the golf course, to be put into capital. So if they're doing $1 million in business, they should be putting in, 10 grand or whatever, but I thought at one point there was more than that. Capital expenses, there's expenses, where is the revenue on this? So we have to find out from Great Gulf, they're supposed to be putting a certain amount of money over into the capital each year. I thought it was like 100, 125. The town used to put in like 100 to 100, I think it was 100. And we said we would stop that about 3 years ago, and they were supposed to be putting that money over. So maybe that's why there's a negative, they're not putting the.
They didn't do like anything like last year.
Yeah, so the year before, they did put money like.
I think the town did the last time in 2023.
23, so.
So
yeah, that's
24,
been a while.
25 was
24 and
nothing.
25, they're supposed to be putting over, because we said
Nothing.
no longer us, and they were supposed to put like 100K over. So that's why that fund has gone down, and I don't know how they expect to be paying for their lawnmower, because out of this fund comes their lawnmowers and everything.
Two of them.
The golf carts are done.
Mhm.
So they have $323,000 in the balance, but they're probably $300,000 short, 24, 25, and 26 are putting $100,000 in. So, but this is the treasurer's, and she has this down right, so, okay. Then there's $204,516 reimbursement due to the town for prior year's startup. Have we made the transfer yet from them? I think it was supposed to be like 145,000 or?
We did move 100.
Okay, we did move 100. Next year.
It's up to you guys.
100. Well, in the budget right now, I think it says, if we get it through, it says 145. Okay. So hopefully we get the budget passed, and then in August, they'll have money really coming in August and September, and then maybe we can get 145 over it. But we're gonna have to get on them, Patrick, and tell them that they need to put money over into the capital, and they haven't been doing it for the last 3 years, I guess. Can I get a motion to accept it?
If I
Go
could,
ahead.
Not having knowledge, is that in their contract, I assume?
It's not in their contract. It's every year we're supposed to, and we've been told, and, when they come in and say they want capital, how else is their capital gonna get funded? The town can't keep we said we were gonna step away from the town funding this golf course. It's supposed to be an enterprise fund. So, you know, they want us to put, we gotta go get a bond for 200 and something thousand dollars for a shed, or a maintenance building, not a shed. And then they also want us to maybe fix the wells or whatever, which hopefully they can go, we've been having a lot of rain. Hopefully we can go in and do a new test on the well to see where the water level is, so we don't, you know, last year I played golf there 2 times.
Yeah.
That pond back, whatever hole it is, was really nothing there.
Yeah.
So
So
hopefully
I kept
that's
asking- I
up.
kept asking them, are you sure it's the well and not because we're in a drought?
Right, so, okay.
They said it's the well. but
So,
we will
can I
see.
get a motion to accept the treasurer's report as of April 30th, 2026?
So moved.
I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I
I
mean,
just-
Bill, it's just a matter of accepting it. and
Yeah,
if
no, I agree.
questions-
No, I agree. Yeah, the question.
We've had the questions.
The
already.
question, yeah, the question's the question. And understand that
Yeah.
it will get answered at a certain.
We're gonna, there's like $2 million, $1.5 million to $2 million that have been used for TIF, but there should be a loan to come in and,
Yeah,
or
it's-
there should have been grant money coming in and
Yeah,
everything.
right, yeah, it's somewhere on there just should be a line item on here saying, hey, here's what it is.
Yeah, we'll get there.
So we understand that.
This $8,258,090 owed to the restricted fund, that's what we've paid for the town has paid?
Wait.
On
It's
this,
8,000.
oh, it's 8,000.
$8,258.
I can handle that
It's
number.
not $8 million. But that's where Monica came in and said they moved $25,000 over. in April. So they have
Okay.
25 minus.
I'm sorry, I saw it as 8 million, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. That's about what
Where
the golf course.
where does the money that the town paid for the golf course that it owes us for the actual purchase and getting the golf course?
That will be a question for
Where-
R.H. Smith when he comes in, because it's he has it somewhere hidden in, not hidden, but somewhere in the audit. It's there. It might be on the golf course side, but he's given that number off to me, and he does calculations, so he's got the numbers there. They've been carrying it all along.
Would this be the place to show that number?
We'll ask when he gets here.
Okay,
That's what I don't.
because I would just like to know what the number is.
Yeah, we'll get that number.
Thank you.
Okay, so all in favor of accepting the treasurer's report as of April 30th, 2026?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to accept the golf course accounts of the treasurer's report? dated
So moved.
April 30th? Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Budget. As you get your different budgets, I'm going to pull up a working one in the Excel. The first piece that I think the board should probably decide is we received back from the bank that the FEMA, Irene FEMA money, that was a bond that's supposed to be refinanced and then was paid off, cannot be refinanced for multiple years. It would have to be a current expense note, which is a one-year note. So you would do it every year, and each time you'd have you have a slightly higher interest rate than other bonds I would get, and you have tax on it.
Closing costs.
So you're
Yeah.
talking
You'd have
about
that
every
closing
year.
costs every year you would have.
Having a one-year note with a balloon payment of taking, say, $50,000 out for each 5 years to get to $250 or whatever. If the note was $250.
If it was, say it was $300, then you would budget each year $50,000 and then do or whatever, and then you do a new one-year note again until it is done. That is one way to do it, or we handle it. Like,
So we could put that question to the side for now, that, you know, that's that there. You know, this is what blows me away, because like we're saying, we had the vote, the first budget or whatever, and I was like, I don't think you can do that, okay? And we
So we
put it
kept
in
it
the
in.
original, we kept it in.
Yep.
And then it came back, I guess the bank was telling you, you can't.
Yep.
Okay? And then we get articles in the paper that, well, why didn't he Well, because I was told before, we couldn't, okay? So, or I thought we couldn't. And then it comes back and says we can, but it turns out we really couldn't, okay? But when I go to the 2024 annual report book, okay, underneath Town of Killington debt summary, there was a FEMA note, okay, for $588,000 bond for the total. That was Irene.
Okay.
And it says, 2021, the description, it was supposed to be a 10-year bond. And, yeah, managers come in, like Lucretia said, and, I don't know, maybe they found a way of saving a little bit of money or whatever, and they brought it into, I don't know, 2020. It looks like we only borrowed it for 5 years, even though the debt summary says 10. So that leads me to, like, when we're doing this audit, that I would like to make sure, like, all of these things actually have what it says, or if they're shorter note periods or whatever, because how does one know, if you're looking in this book, 2021, there was no renewal of it. It's supposed to be paid off in 10 years. Why we changed, I don't know, I don't remember, okay? So that just brings up there, so we could either vote to put in the budget for a one-year expense note and say it's 200 and how much?
290.
290, and we'll have a balloon payment over 5 years, $60,000 less if we're gonna do it over 5. If we're gonna continually do it 5 years or whatever, we're gonna do an expense note for 1 year, and the 290 at the end of the term would be 230. Okay?
Okay.
Plus whatever interest. Well, it's not all, that's what it is, 290 with, so then there's a $230,000
Refund.
balloon, there's a $230,000 one-year expense note, and then if we say 60,000, you get it, I don't have to
You'd
keep
have
on.
to
Flash it
cover
down, yeah.
And it just bum, 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 bum.
Yep.
And that's just putting stress on, keep
Every
on
year,
remembering
yeah.
to do it. So let's go through the rest, just so we have that in our head, let's just go through the rest of the budget or whatever.
Okay.
So
do you-
one of my questions was, is that on the article the other day was 1,972,651, and then the original vote was 2,117,000, and that was just a $100,000 typo or something, right?
It was included the principal and interest instead of just the tax.
So when we're really, it's really going to be, currently, right now, where is the current article, Patrick?
Yeah.
That only has the suggested, I think there's
I have the
three.
blank ones here.
Which article number? 1, 2, or 3?
So this one here says,
It has the blank for the.
yeah.
expenditures.
Shall the voters approve total general fund expenditures of, whatever we come up with, of which an estimated shall be raised by property taxes. It's $2,072,651, an estimated nonprofit. It's not the 2172, and that $100,000 difference is because of,
Well, the $144,000 difference, 100,000 was, the principal and interest was included in that line instead of just the property taxes, and the 44,000 was adjustments to revenue from solid waste, police, and state and highway.
turn it off.
And so we lost $44,000 in revenue once you removed your interest and penalties.
No,
Issue.
when the interest and penalties was removed, that was 100,000.
Right.
The 44,000 was reduction in revenues from the solid waste, police, and state and highway.
And then we'll start hitting that, but just give me a second here. So the original vote on March 3rd had that we would have $2,117,000. Now, today, we're saying $2,072,651. So that's 44,349. I'm just getting confused with the 144,000. So
So-
it's 44,349 less.
100,000 of it was penalties and interest, looking at the wrong line, pulling the wrong number. You did check and balance, you caught the error, excellent.
Was that
The
in the-
44,000.
was that in the
So I follow now, because on the warning that we had last week, said 1,972,000.
Yes.
That's where I'm getting
Yes.
mixed up. I'm
So-
taking from this
From this
actual,
to this
forget
actual?
about
The
that.
one- yeah, so
forget
don't think about the
that.
100.
You know,
Yeah.
it was a typo.
Yeah, yeah.
Boom.
The 44 is what you're asking about.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, forget about the 100. The
That's gonna
44
work into the budget that you're gonna show us.
Exactly.
What
Yep.
are those items, and
Yeah.
show us the 40, what adds up to
The
44,000?
44,000 is a reduction in revenue from state and highway.
How much?
Since,
So this is reduction
back into it. the
for
other-
other
Oh,
income.
let me pull it up on here.
Yeah.
I have to get this out of the way. Put it back over there. State highways.
Sorry.
It's all good. This is what I'm here to help.
Wouldn't be
No, it's not
miscellaneous.
miscellaneous.
It's gonna be underneath different things, other expenses and all other.
Other income?
I don't see it on other income.
State and federal aid.
There you go. That was what I was looking for. So 20,000.
Its own sheet.
On the state aid highways.
Yeah.
Okay, so 20,000 from state highways.
That's from talking to them. We're lower down on the list because we received more than last year. So we just had, yeah. And
Thank God
then,
we didn't put the 20K in on the 27.
and then we have solid waste. I brought back with a concern when we were redoing the budget, saying we upped it to 40,000, however, we never hit the 35,000. So I recommend that we brought it back down. The board said, okay.
Well, that was on one of them, but.
That was on one of them. So solid
So
waste.
now I
would be
can go to the
5,000.
general fund expense that we have.
Red listing, federal. So here you can see this one.
So
difference
solid
here.
waste,
So in PD 12, we hit 30,000. So upping it to 40, even if we set like the bags to $4, it wouldn't close that gap. And so my recommendation was set it to 35 so that we don't overshoot it, or we don't underperform on it.
it's really interesting to see Fairhaven right now, because they just went through this whole thing for raising their rates on or whatever, and they say that, you know, it used to be covered by 85% of the revenue at the transfer station, and they got underneath 50% or whatever. So they've just went through something
privatized
to make some changes on the rates and on the yearly pass or whatever.
Yeah, and so we would like to make adjustments on those
Yeah.
for this fiscal year.
So the passes this year are $25, and we said $40, I think? Is
Yeah,
that what
we
said?
said we're going to come back and actually set the rates
Yeah,
later, but
so,
yes.
I mean, it would be nice to know how many passes we sold.
Yep,
We're
we
not
can
gonna
pull
get
those
there.
when we,
So solid waste is how much less?
5,000 less?
5K, okay, we're at 25.
Yep, and then police department is 19 and change.
Okay, and then just go through the police department where the 19K is.
What, do you want to go through that? Sure.
So, traffic ticket fees are reduced from 10.
The detail right there?
I don't know what you're saying.
Scroll it up.
We're looking at the revenue.
Oh.
We're looking at, this would be the delta of the 19.
So you got the failed on the first item is 500, then the failed on the second the failed one was 10,000, it's going down to 6,651. That's 7,700, then the GHSP, whatever, it's 5,000, it's nothing, then 800, staying 800, 5,000. So the three line items with really is traffic fees.
Yes.
From 10 to 6,651, and item 7, which is GHSP DUI grant.
Yes.
Goes from 5,000 to 0, so that's 11,651. And then GHSP labor goes from 11,000 to 0.
Correct. So the,
Just tell everyone what GHSP is.
yeah, GHSP is Government Highway Safety. Click their tickets, you guys see the advertisements on DUI stuff. What that is time and a half after 40 hours. So an officer is required to work the normal patrol shift, and then they can go back and work a Government Highway Safety Patrol for over their 40 hours, which is time and a half, which gets paid for out of federal and state funds, not the town's budget. So the GHSP grant, that $5,000 you see there, that's actually not cash, that's usually for equipment that we can purchase with the GHSP funds for a certain equipment that's allowed every year. The $11,000, that's the labor portion of that, so the town gets a check which offsets the officer's labor. It's not a, it's kind of a tough, I guess it should be in revenue, but it's not truly revenue because it offsets the officer's hours above the normal 40-hour patrol shift. I reduced the traffic ticket fees just to try to be more in line where I think we're going to be. Again, this is, obviously it's a moving target. You don't know what the year is going to bring, but being down an officer, my best guess is going to potentially could reduce the traffic ticket fees, so I didn't want to estimate too high on that. Those are the 3 things.
We're just gonna leave it at that. We're not gonna get into any of that because
And again,
we're
it could-
supposed to be into union contract talk, so just thank you for giving the explanation.
And it's an estimate, I mean, again, it could be higher. Revenues could be higher.
Revenues could be higher.
Yep.
We never target it.
What's that?
We don't target it anyway.
No.
Okay, so you brought it back down to, I guess, to the FY 2025 period, 12,665.
Yeah, being more in line with that.
And back then, I think you only had 2 in you.
Yeah.
Yes, and I'm good. Anybody have a question for Whit? Okay, so that's the $44,000.
And that's,
I mean, I don't know, because we're saying it's night, so there's 11,000 from labor.
Well, then there's an increase in the overtime.
Well, there's 11,000, so there's 11,000 in, then there's 5,000, which I said would make that 16, right? And then there's
19.5, yes, it was 19.5.
Are you looking for the difference between the failed and the current?
Yeah.
I may have put that right here.
19.5.
Yeah.
19,349.
Good.
Okay.
Right. The only thing I don't really understand about this really in the big scheme of things is why some of these numbers were perfectly acceptable up until like a week ago.
We're not going into
And I know that, I'm just making a statement that.
We're not, yeah, but
Is
we're
it
not
question
going to
for me?
make statements, okay? We're not going to make statements, okay? So this is what's presented to us. So then, what else do we have in here?
There was, when I met with you, or Jim and John, when I met with you guys on Friday, our 3 to 5:45 meeting, we made some changes to,
3 to 4, 5, 3 to almost 5.
No, it's past that. 3.
Yeah, yeah.
It's almost 6.
Yeah.
Almost 6. Yeah.
Which I was salaried.
I
mean,
I don't get paid anymore.
Well, you were like in a rush to get out, so I mean, you're making
Yeah,
a statement right now, like.
Had to go back to my family.
Yeah, so do we.
So we adjusted this 23 to 25, and this, and one of these other, I think it's 64. Or, I'm sorry, the Social Security. So there's slight adjustments made to these. And I had a question about $24,000 in the fire budget for PPE.
Yeah, PPE, what is PPE?
So it is the turnout gear. It is the, which is a consumable. I mean, you hopefully don't have it consumed.
Personal protection.
Yeah, so when I was thinking, I was like, is it gloves, masks? Like, that doesn't seem right. And I checked in with that, and they were calling it all their gear, masks.
Their jackets,
pants, all that stuff.
So every year they buy like $24,000 worth of jacket. I thought we had is anyone here from the fire? No.
police.
I think they have use of the lives. They have to get new gear because.
Well, no, they go into a commercial washer or
There's-
something.
There's a
commercial
and there's a
dryer.
rotation to replace old equipment, and if you are in a high heat fire, it compromises the turnout gear. So it's a consumable, but hopefully you get a couple years out of it. I think 2025, they spent 16,000 instead of 24.
That was because some of we were told that there's a,
The Scott Air Packs.
no, on these outfits, there is a time or whatever
Yeah.
on it. And they hadn't had them in many years changed out, so they were replacing new ones, and that's why it was like 16,000 that year. I don't know. I asked what PPE is, thank you.
Yep.
I thought it was.
I thought, we
the
both thought it was the same.
SCBA.
Oh, you thought it was the
I was
same.
SCBA, and saying, wouldn't that be capital? Because we had that conversation once,
Yeah.
that there was an
Their masks,
SCBA.
their masks are, I think the.
Capital.
No, the masks are in there as
Yeah.
well, but.
And the PPE.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, the budget total is?
Currently on this budget without any FEMA stuff in it, it is 706, or sorry, 7605629, which is a taxable amount increase of 2%, which is
Okay.
110,000.
So now, the FEMA note for $290,000, can you put that in the correct line item, that it's paid off, just so we can see what it is?
Yep, I can have that over here. Drag it over for you. The FEMA note puts it up to 6.42.
Okay, and for,
And the reason why it's not a clean 290 is because in the prior one, bonded indebtedness, about 52,000 of it was accounted for, and in this version, zeroed out. So the delta isn't a true 290.
we gotta borrow it, we have to borrow 290, we have to borrow 290. So, and then you have to add in the interest on top of it.
Right.
So, that's what you're getting at, the interest, and, yeah.
Yeah, that was 50, I think it was
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
50,000
over
with
the-
2,000.
Right,
interest, yeah.
over the course of 5 years. Okay, so, do me a favor, put in the 204,000, just make a line item for other expenses.
In the one with the FEMA?
In the $204,000 for the solar panels. You know where I'm going, Bill, I'm just trying to find out what the total, Vito?
Probably related to these.
Putting it just 204.
204,000.
Yeah.
And go back to, might as well name it solar.
It is.
Okay. And then just go back to what the increase is, the 6 point whatever, 42 is going to what? 8 point something? Is 200,000 for, no, it's like 4%? or-
4%.
That's 10 point whatever. $10.18.
Yep.
And then put in the $200,000 for the forensic, even though we know it's not being voted on in the budget, but it is going to be part of the cost. It's up to 14.
Likely. right under.
Okay. And then just put a 32,000 for the bus.
Okay.
That should be everything then, that's... There's nothing else, right, Patrick?
Golf course building in?
The golf course
That
is
would
going
be-
to the golf course,
Yeah,
it's not
It's
our,
not in this budget,
No.
okay.
it's not in our budget. I mean, it's in, but it's not in this budget.
Basically, the budget that's
We're
failed.
responsible for
It's
it.
gonna be higher. That was 32, or is that 35?
I think it was,
32.
how much does it say right there?
It says 32 in this whole.
Yeah, 32.
32.
So you're thinking the 65, because we put
Yeah.
33 in already.
That's, I'll raise it 0.5%, so we're just gonna be a little over 14, or 14.25. $14.46.
So the budget that we voted on in March 3rd didn't have the solar,
And it didn't have the forensic.
it didn't have the forensic, and it was at 12.99%.
12.9.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's going up, yeah, 1.5 percentage points, but it's 400,000 or more $1,000, which should be like 8%.
Right.
Okay? So for those that say that we didn't do, as a board, this is to us, that we didn't do anything to this budget, okay, from there was a 12.99% increase, okay, going forward to the voters on March 3rd, and it didn't include the bus, it didn't include the FEMA, and it didn't include the solar, which is like $432,000, which is some 4-point-something%. Because 200,000 was saying how much? It's 2 or 4? 200,000 is 4.
4.
So
It's about 50,000. is a
8% of that.
Actually, the original budget included the FEMA, but it was at 300,000. We included the full FEMA in that versus a loan. So,
Right, right.
yeah,
So
right.
let's forget about the FEMA part,
Right, yeah,
okay?
yeah.
But the $200,000 for the forensic.
Forensic was not
Wasn't
there.
in there.
Was
And
not
the
there.
32,000 for whatever.
I
So
think
there's around.
the solar was in there, too.
And the solar, yeah, so the only one is the
Yeah,
forensic.
because I remember we had 500 between the FEMA and the solar.
Yeah, right.
Okay, that was in there. So,
The 204, but the 200 is 4%. We're saying 200,000 is 4%.
50 is 1%.
So without that forensic audit, with the changes that we have here so far, okay, would be a 10% increase, okay? So we've asked for, and I'm not going to get into, but we've asked for the highway, you're bringing one person on. You said you hired the person? When, did he start already?
No, that's going to be at the end of the month.
Okay, so, and then we also said on, so the highway, one of the unfilled positions is being, one of the two is being filled,
Right.
okay? 1.5 at this point of the, or the one for the police that was budgeted this year but not filled, okay? And then there was another position for a full-time to come on in January, but the budget failed, okay? And then we asked for, we left it to you for a position in the administration. Can you show us that here?
I have not removed a position from the administration. This
Okay.
is the third time I've come saying that is
I'd like-
not a good decision for the town.
Okay.
It is not about the people, it is about the positions, and that I fully understand the board can decide to still remove one of those positions, but the board is going to own that decision of choosing which position to remove.
Okay,
Because
I'd like to call an executive session for personnel.
if it's about personnel about me, I'd like to do it in public.
So moved. So moved, all in favor? Aye. Aye. We're out of executive session at 9:50, no action taken. Seems like we're at a standstill on the 2027 budget discussion, so town managers report.
Town managers report. The police department, with Whit and Kayla, they got a grant for an APHIS machine valued at about $27,000 for the grant. So nice work to them.
It's not matching.
It's not matching. It is just straight. We get a APHIS machine, which will update the technology in the office, increase officer safety because they know who they're dealing with quicker.
Can you just, so we have to accept it, can you just tell us what the cost is to run it to or whatever? If there is, and there may not be any?
Yeah, good question is, right now, there is not any.
What is an APHIS machine?
Oh, sorry, yeah. APHIS, yeah, for everyone that hasn't worked in the police.
Sounds like a bug.
An APHIS machine is the electronic fingerprinting. Right now, we fingerprint with ink and card, and you have to, so if you fingerprint felon or someone that's suspected of, you're arrested for a felony, you fingerprint it, you send the card out, you don't hear back for a month or so, a couple weeks.
Or if we do background, or
Is it an
fingerprint
acronym?
checks for
Is APHIS an acronym?
Yeah, it's automated fingerprint,
instrument identification system.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay.
also could be a revenue.
It's also, could be a revenue generator.
But it also could be used for like the rec staff when they come
Yep.
on, or any employee that has to
Yep.
get fingerprint or whatever.
So it's a great thing.
Okay.
The highway,
Oh,
sorry.
just, so what is the life expectancy of this unit?
It's pretty heavy duty piece of equipment, so they last. I mean, every once in a while, and I'm not sure what the schedule is for updates, there will be required updates for that.
Is there a software cost every single year for it?
Could be, but right now, there's not, because the first year or 2 years is covered.
Can we take a look, so we'll have to approve, how much is, it's 27,000, so we should be, anything over 25,
Yep.
it's supposed to come to us?
We haven't got the final paperwork on it.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, we'd like to see what the cost is to maintain it, what the yearly software costs are and everything else, because obviously then we would have to put that in, if we accept it, to the 2027 budget.
Yeah, I think, yes, I will find out.
So then we would have to see revenue on that side too.
Yeah, I have some revenue numbers for that, what we've done with the old school ink.
If you can just share it with
Yep.
the town manager for the next meeting, so we can accept it or not at the next meeting.
Sure.
Yeah. Through the highway, also got awarded $126,000 for culvert work from the state, separate from the state highway grant. So that is good. They can basically reimburse their hours worked and materials for a couple culvert jobs, specific ones. I'm not sure the location off the top of my head. Also, the first quarter options tax came in right on mark. It was within 2,000 of the budgeted amount.
Which way, up or down?
Up. So it was like, we budgeted 130. It came in at like 131 and change. And that is it for the manager's report.
131,000 in options tax, was that?
No.
How much was the amount of options received?
Let me double check that. I believe it was 131. Or is it 330?
331.
331, that's right. That's a different quarter. 331 was budgeted.
Well, we just want to know the last
And we
quarter
came
or
in,
whatever it is.
yeah, came in slightly, about $1,500.
Can you pull up that sheet on the website for, there's something in the treasurer's report, or there's something in revenue or whatever, on the revenue side?
Oh, yes, on the budget.
And on the budget, there's going to be something that shows that we're missing 1 year, or I mean 1 quarter or whatever.
You're talking the comparative?
Yeah, I think it's in the comparative.
Not the working budget.
All right, it's a comparative report. And there should be the one that's missing or whatever. If you go into,
Is it in our package then?
I don't
Was it the little, was it the little
Yeah,
type?
the one with the funny.
There was one with the little type?
The comparative report?
Yeah.
This one. Yeah, I don't think you got it.
I don't think so.
Here we go,
Oh, no, there it is.
and I'll zoom in, so it's not tiny.
There we
There
go.
we go.
So we're missing the top. It's actually the first quarter.
Yeah.
So we budgeted 330.
And it came in at 331 and change.
Okay. And so
that's good.
331 and change plus the 339,
This gives you 640.
640, and we budgeted 643.
Yep.
So
We also are gonna get a.
I want to say thanks to Chris Carr for kind of making.
670.
Yeah.
339 and 330, 639,
670,
670.
yeah, you're right.
So so the next line, the 643, is the budgeted number. Can you scroll up, so I get, because I don't see these all the way up
The
to
heading.
the top.
We
the
need the
heading.
heading.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're
The
saying. Yes,
budget,
the
now go.
20,
Okay.
so it's FY '26 is
So we're
the
at
second.
Yeah,
And
so
then
we're
the
at,
far
so,
one.
so
We're 20 grand above it.
we're 20 grand above.
Yep.
That's good.
And I would have a question based upon the 2027 budget, because I think you only budgeted 600.
Total, we did.
Total. So the question is, do we feel comfortable adding another
Oh, we pushed
20,000 on
We get
that?
out of discussion when we come back.
Right, well, no, I know.
But that is something to.
Yeah, we should think about that.
Okay.
So we go
I
from
think
there.
what really helped us this, or what I've heard from the business owners is, out west did not have a good ski season.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying have the discussion.
Yeah.
Because we may not, 600 might be the right number to do right
Yeah.
now.
Especially other gas prices and stuff.
Yeah, okay.
Is that it? Go ahead.
So that's town.
That was it. We
manager.
also, we're getting, I don't have the number in front of me, we're getting a small amount of money back from the state also.
For what?
Do you remember?
That was 50,000, that's the final cash flow. We were supposed to pay 8,600,000 something, now is go down to 8,500,000. So it was 50,000 less than
To the school or to the state?
to the state.
State. So it's.
The big payment
For the school? For the education?
That's right.
Yeah.
So that ended up being about 50,000 less than originally
Okay.
provided to us. So savings there.
So
And that's
we
it
said
for
we're
the
getting
manager's
it back,
report.
so we made the payment, and they said you were only supposed to pay
Or
X.
it's,
Payment is due on June 1st.
yeah,
Okay.
it doesn't have to go with the pavement.
Okay, so that's on the treasurer's report, Roger?
Yep, so we're gonna deduct 50,000 from there.
So
from the
from
state.
here, when it said 8,585,000, that includes the
that-
50 or not?
That's the final, that's the final,
So that's including the minus of the 50?
that's right.
Okay, so this is, that's actual, and I guess if we looked at one last month or whatever, it was $50,000,
More.
8,615,000 or whatever.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Anything else?
Nope, that is it.
Okay. Citizens' comments and concerns, I'll start with the audience first. Not seeing any, I'll look at, can you go to the
Yeah.
Zoom?
Let me pull it up, sorry. And I can see the participants that are not being shown, though the hands would populate up. I'm not seeing any
Okay.
hands.
So selectmen member comments or concerns? Been a long one. John, nothing? Bill? Lito?
No, thank you.
I'm just gonna say, like, I appreciate very much the librarian coming in, especially starting it off saying rumors, but then kind of finishing off as if it was facts or whatever. You know, we gotta stop the rumors. So, I mean, I think this town will come along better if the process is followed correctly in the way that the statutes are governed to do. So, that being said, John, I think you wanted to,
That's mine.
yep,
Okay, you can read.
make a motion to, can you read off what you added? Because I
Motion
don't
to
have
move
it.
to executive session for personnel contracts, the appointment, employment, or reevaluation of public officer or employee VSA 313A3
At 9:59.
at 9:50.
Can I get a second to that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.